who are here. This is day 2. Day 2, week 7. Day 2, week 7 of our journey here together. Preparing for these national exams that we are going to take. All right. And so the time is fast approaching. Time is fast approaching. Anyone nervous or you feel
Yes.
you nervous, Miss Cooper?
I'm terrified.
Terrified? It is an exam, like
Let my brain get block.
your brain.
No, because
Go ahead.
right in my school, you have to pass at least math or math and English in order to be in grade 10. So if I don't pass at least them two, I can't go to grade 10.
They can't go grade 10, so they repeat you.
Yeah.
So you'll be with the grade 9 twos before you. Oh boy, that'll be bad.
That's silly.
Yeah. No, but I no, but the Kennedy, I know you can pass now. I feel like you can pass, especially math. If for sure math. English is a different story.
It's a
But
huge different story.
yeah. Um. But yeah, I mean, just be calm and confident. That's one thing. You don't want to freak yourself out in the exam. Be calm. And be confident. Don't even if you don't know much, just do your best because a lot of times some of those things just common sense. So don't overthink it.
All right. Thank you, though.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let's get started. Yesterday was a short day. I think that was the shortest class we ever had yesterday. Yeah, we should make up for that. But yeah. I hope you all use the rest of the night productively though. Um, but so let's continue. We only had like an hour and a half now yesterday. Today we are definitely going to do our regular. And I'm excited. So we did this yesterday, the bar graph. And then now we're going to do um another question. This one is on another typical question. This one is on mean, median, and mode. These typically come. So we're gonna move from familiar to unfamiliar. So we're gonna start off with this question. Remember to send here or present in my chat, WhatsApp chat. I don't see that from a lot of you. Send here or present in my WhatsApp chat. And 2, make sure that as we go through the questions, you write the questions down and write down the working that I have. Please do that for me. And send the notes right after you have it completed. Alright, so let's continue. So this is what we did yesterday, the bar graph. And we also did the inverse function. That was interesting yesterday with the inverse function. Okay, so this person is asking to join. Trinell Cooper. Alright. Okay, so let's continue. So the question says, oh wow, that's another person asking to join. One moment. Okay, so the question states the following. It says the height of 6 persons were recorded as follows: 1.25 meters, 1.7 meters, 1.55 meters, 1.25 meters, 1.45 meters, and 1.2 meters. Determine the modal height. Now, when we say modal, right, what do we mean? The modal height. What do we mean in this case?
Which one is the most? What occurs the most?
Most frequent number?
Yes, definitely. So the mode or the modal is the most, we say the mode or the modal value is the most frequent value in the data set. Is or we say it is the most popular value in the data set, or we say it is the number or the value or the data point that occurs the most. All right. And so which data value would occur the most? Which one?
1.25 meters.
I agree. because 1.25 meters occurs twice and the other ones occur once. So 1.25 is definitely the modal height. So the modal height. So the modal height is definitely equal to 1.25 meters. And just a quick note now that the mode or modal value is the data point that occurs the most. Okay, just a quick note on that. Okay, so we have the modal height 1.25 meters. And just a quick note for us to remember what it means. The number or the value that occurs the most. Okay, all right. Remember, notice that I put meters also. I made sure I put the unit because they asked for the modal height. So you want to also put the unit there. Not just 1.25, but the unit that they have attached there. Okay. For those who are just joining us, please place here or present. Send it to the WhatsApp chat. Send it to my WhatsApp number. Now, the question here, question B, asks, well, what is the...
Mr. Petit, can you go back on the place?
Sure, no problem. I can go back. So, B asks for the median height. Okay. B asks for, someone's mic is on and then not. Okay, good. Thank you. So, yeah, B asks for the median height. Okay. The median height. Now, the median height is going to be the first thing we have to do before we even consider the median height is we have to arrange this data set into an ascending order, right? Right? Are we here with me?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. We have to arrange our data set in the ascending order. So what number would be first? Which one would be right first?
1.2 meters.
1.2 meters. Yes, that's true. 1.2. After 1.2, it's what?
1.25.
Yeah, 1.25.
1.2.
Write it twice.
Yeah, and you have to write it twice. Very good. And then what else we have? 1.2, 1.25,
1.5.
1.45.
1.45.
Or 1.5. Then 1.55.
We forget 1 point. Yeah, okay, that's good. 1.45. That's good.
What about 1.7?
No, 1.7. That's the highest. Think about
I
it.
tell you next.
Yeah. 1.45. Then 1. What? 1.55, right? Then what?
1.7.
1.7 meters. All right. This right here is definitely the so this is us arranging it in the order of least to greatest. Okay. Thank you, Natalia, for joining. Again, if you haven't done so already, please place here or present. Send it to my WhatsApp chat. Now, in order to find, remember the median is the middle value. The value is the value that's in the middle once the numbers are arranged in ascending order. So we'll connect 1.2 meters with 1.7. We'll connect 1.25 with 155. Interesting. We are left with 2 in the middle, eh? So we are left with these 2 in the middle. And so once you have 2 in the middle, what do we do if we have 2 in the middle? Anyone know?
You add both and divide by 2.
Very good.
divide.
Add both and divide by 2. Who said that?
Ricardo.
Very good, Ricardo. Very good. So you divide both and divide it by 2. So if your median end up being a two numbers. So if two numbers end up being in the middle and not one, then what you do is you have to add both and divide by 2. So the median height is going to be equal to 1.25 meters plus 1.45, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all divided by 2, which equals, what is 1.25 plus 1.45? What is that?
2.7.
2.7. 2.7. And what is 2.7 divided by 2? So let's actually do it. So it's going to be 2 into 2.7. 2 goes into 2 how much times?
1 time.
1. So it's going to be 2 times 1, which is 2. 2 take away 2 is going to be
1.3.
0.
0. We bring up the decimal point and bring down the 7. How much times 2 goes into 7?
3 times. 3.
Times. Very good. 2 times
3
3
times.
is?
2 times 2 is 4.
2 times 3 is?
6.
6.
What is 7 minus 6?
1.
1. Very good. Now, because we have this decimal point, we have this decimal point, that gives us the authority to do what?
Add a 0.
Add a 0. Now we are saying what is 2 times, like what times 2 gives us 10?
5. 5.
5.
Definitely. And so it's going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. So the answer here is 1.35. So the median height is 1.35 meters. So quick recap, what we did in order to find the median height is we had to arrange the numbers, the heights in ascending order. So we had to do. And so we have 1.2 meters, 1.25 meters, 1.25 meters. We have to write this twice, okay? Then we have 1.45 meters, then 1.55 meters, then 1.7 meters, all right? So all these arrange from the lowest one to the highest one. Then we connect. So we say 1.2 goes with 1.7, then 1.25 goes with 1.55. We find out that instead of having one value in the middle, we actually have two values in the middle. And so we say, okay, in order to find the median height, what we have to do is, since we have two values in the middle, and it's only when you have two values in the middle, what you do is you add these two values. When we add them, we get 2.7, and then you divide it by 2. Okay? Once we divide 2.7 by 2, we got 1.35. That quotient is actually our answer. 1.35 meters is the median height. Notice that I also have the M there symbolizing the meters because they asked us for the median height. So we have to respect um our um our unit. Okay. Any questions on this? Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. All right. So if you have it written already, take a picture of it and please send it to my WhatsApp number so I can see that you're following along. Especially if you're not speaking in the classroom, please, I want to see your notes. That is very important. All right. So we figured out what is the median height. Here they help you all. They says calculate the average, and they use another word, the mean height of the persons. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Julia. Thank you. Who else sending in their notes? Thank you, Ariana, Dylan, and Julia for sending your notes. The rest of you, please send in the notes from the other questions. As you do them, just send them, okay, so I could see. So calculate the average or the mean height. So the average, anyone know how to find the average? The average height. What do we do?
Divide.
You
Divide.
add all and divide it. How much?
I can barely hear you. What's her name? I can barely hear you. Kennedy, go ahead. What do you do?
And you have to add everything.
Add all the numbers, yes. Add all the heights, and then do what?
Divide it all the numbers.
Yes, divided by the amount that you have. Okay, so that's how we do it. So let's do this. So it's gonna be the average height. Another word for average is what? It's another word for average.
Me?
I could barely hear you. What you saying?
The mean?
The mean. Very good. The mean. I like that you gave your outdoor voice just now, Miss Cooper. I could barely hear you. And I know, and I know when it comes to Miss Cooper, you always could hear Miss Cooper now. You always could hear her. So, but yes, it is the mean, like she said so eloquently. So the first thing that we're going to do in order to find the average height is we are going to add up all our values. So that means that, remember here, give me one moment as I arrange this properly. So what we need to do is we need to add 1.2 plus 1.25. Then we need to say 1.25 plus 1.25 again. Then we again add, so it's another plus. Okay, so we're trying to find the sum of these numbers plus. If you already get an answer, like for the sum, you can let me know. Okay, good. How much numbers do we have in our data set?
That's 6 in total.
6 in total. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're right. We definitely.
Okay, I got 8.4.
You got 8.4 for the sum?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. She said she got 8.4 for the sum. So we have to add them. So what I want to do here is so we want to add them. So let's do that. So this is going to be so we have the first number we have is 1. Oh my, I don't like this calculator. Sorry. Let me use the next one. Maths Papa. I really like this calculator. Very straightforward. So 1.25. We don't need no odds, right? So 1.25 plus, sorry, 1.2 plus 1.25 plus 1.25 plus 1.45 plus 1.55 plus 1.7 equals
8.4.
8.4. 8.4. That's what you got, Miss Lakeisha, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
8.4. Very good. 8.4. Now we have to divide 8.4 by 6 in order to find the average height. So we have to divide 8.4 by 6.
Mm-hmm.
1.4.
We got 1.4.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if we take 8.4, so if we take this sum and divide it by 6, we get 1.4. So the average height is going to be equal to 1.4 meters.
I got that.
You got that?
Okay.
Okay, good. So 1.4 meters. Any questions on how we did this?
Awesome.
No? Okay. Quick recap. The only thing all we did in order to find the average height was we took all the points of our data set, we add them up. Once we add them up, we got 8.4. Then we divided by the amount of data values that we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data values. So we have divided by 6. And so once we take 8.4 divided by 6, what we get is 1.4 meters. And that is definitely the correct answer. So 1.4 meters. Okay, so that's how we find the average. Okay, so we found what the median was, what the mode was, and also what the average. So remember these terms. Remember what we mean by modal. Remember what we mean by median. And remember what we mean by average. Okay. If you have it already, just please send it to me. Send it to me as you go. Especially if you're not talking in the class. I need to know that you are participating, you're here, and you're not dozing off or anything. Because I cannot see you. I cannot see you, so I have to know that you're here participating as well. Okay, so those were, what do you think? Familiar questions or unfamiliar?
Yeah. Familiar.
Familiar? Okay.
Guess I remember the definitions.
Yeah, I just gotta remember the definitions, right? You're right. So let's turn the tables to an unfamiliar question. Or maybe it may not be unfamiliar to you all. It may be familiar. But I think this is definitely less familiar than the first one. So we're gonna do number 6. Is Nancy here? It's Joseph.
Yes, sir. Good night.
I can't hear you, man. What are you doing tonight?
Nothing. Not good here. Just riding the waves, I guess.
Just what? Riding the waves. All
Um,
right. Okay. All right. We would love to hear from you.
okay.
All right. Good. So number 6, especially for this question. Especially for this question. I don't know if you still remember vectors, Nancy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I already have the answers if you want my answers.
For this?
Yeah.
You ready to do this?
No, I mean like as in how. I just look at it and I already know the answer. So
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. All right.
Too easy.
So,
I'll be pushing.
what do you say, Miss Cooper?
That ain't fair.
Say
She ain't
that.
even saying good yet and she didn't know answer.
Yeah, that's Nancy for you. Um, I saw get like I ain't get like a yet.
Question was muted up here.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. but it's pretty straightforward. It says, okay, so this is vectors. So um, some of you might have done vectors before, and some of you may have not done vectors. But just a quick, information about vectors. Vectors are vectors have two things. Vectors have, um, let me just, I don't know if I even should give a good introduction to it, but just quick notes on vectors. Um, for those who do not know what vectors are. Vectors, in contrast so take this down for me, just some brief notes on vectors. In contrast to scalar quantities, or the scalars, let me say scalar quantities, vectors have both is very important, both size and, we say size or magnitude and direction, right? It's important. So with vectors, we're gonna be able to tell you what is the size or the length of a vector. We're also gonna be able to tell you the direction the vector is going. All right. We can draw vectors, right, visually, right, as a visual representation, by using a line segment and an arrow. Okay. So if we want to, say what is a vector, or to draw a vector, what we can do is we can start from a point and draw it like this. So this is a line segment because it doesn't go on forever. But then when we put this arrow here, this tells you the direction of the vector. And so we could call this vector A, okay? And we denote vector by putting a bar on top. You might see some people put a bar, or some people put an arrowed bar. In this case, they just put a bar. That's to denote vector. All right. Here we could put an arrow. All right, a slight arrow here to denote vector. So this is vector A. We say that this is vector A, and we can also draw vector B. Okay, so notice that we have a line and an arrow. Okay, and so we call this vector B. Okay, so this is, let me do that better. So this is definitely
So that's how it is. Oh, the arrow?
yeah, that's how we draw vectors. So we demonstrate, or we denote vectors, or we draw vectors visually just by using a line segment and an arrow. Okay. So like I said, it has a size, so we could use a ruler and tell you the size of this line segment, and we can also tell you which direction this is going. We can clearly see what direction it's going. Now vector A and vector B, they are not equal to each other because they don't have the same size, so they're not equal to each other, and plus they're not going in the same. Notice that they're not going in the same direction. Okay, this one is going downward, this one is going upward. I mean, yeah, this one's going down, this one's going up. Both on a slant though. So briefly, that's vectors. And so here they're saying OA and OB are position vectors. Now, when they say position vectors, that just means a vector that is very important. That's a very important keyword. They are position vectors, which means that their base point is at the origin. Right? That's where they are. The origin, when we say origin, we mean the point 0, 0. So OA and OB are position vectors relative to the origin, given the points A, which is 7 and -15, and B, which is -2 and 3, write down the column vectors OA and OB. Right now, that's very simple. It's not hard at all. When they say the column vectors, we just have to write OA. So we just have to write A in column form. Here, this is in row form if you must. But we just need to write it in column form vertically. So the vector OA, okay, the vector OA, okay, is going to be equal to the vector OA equals 7, okay, and -15. So that's the vector OA written in column form. So not hard but that. And the vector OB is going to be what? Can someone tell me?
-2/3.
-2. But how are we going to write it though?
You're gonna put -2. You're gonna open bracket, -2 on the top and 3 at the bottom.
Very good. -2 at the top and 3 at the bottom, because they want it as a column vector. Okay. And so this is what we have. OA 7, -15, OB -2 and 3. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Any questions on this? I think
So, like I say, column vectors, what it was written in first.
this was, in fact, to be honest, they didn't give it to us. They just gave us the coordinate of A, right? And the coordinate of A was given in as a row, not as a column. Okay, so we have to put it in a column form. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now the next thing that they want us to do, so now we have them in column form. They want us to express AB as a column vector. Okay, express AB as a column vector. Now, AB is the vector that starts at A and ends at B. And so we have to be very careful as to what we do with this, right? So we have to be careful. So we have the first two is we have to plot all this on a graph. So so let's do this. So notice that they say that A is negative, A is 7, -15. So let's draw this on the graph. So, and what is B? B is -2 and 3. Okay. So on the graph we have the following. We have, this is going to be the y-axis, right? So draw this for me. Say it again.
We're using a graph for this, so we just drawing it.
We're drawing it freehand. You don't have to use a graph. Drawing it freehand. Sorry. I should really use a regular line for this. Okay, now I'm bad. Okay, so draw it freehand. This one is the y-axis, and this one is the x-axis. Someone is asking to join. Welcome, Lionel. And so what we have is they tell us that the point A is at 7 and -15. So on the x-axis, because 7 is on the x-axis, we have to put 7. So let's say that if this is 0, let's say that 7 is somewhere. Let's just say that 7 is here. Okay.
Can we start from 1, or we have to start from
We can
number
start.
they give us?
We can start at 1, but I am not being rigorous here. I'm just
Okay.
eyeballing it. we can start at 1. I think it's just that it's going all the way up to 50, and I don't want to do that on all sides. But since you raised that, let's do it right. Okay, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, going all the way up to 15, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Next up, negative 15. Let's do the negative axis. Let's do the negative axis. This one is very important. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14, and negative 15. Okay, good. So now we need to go all the way up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Next up on this side is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14, and negative 15. Okay, so we have our graph, right? So we have to figure out where A is. So A is at 7 and negative 15. So positive 7 and negative 15 is right there. So we're gonna show that right there. So positive 7 and negative 15, where these two connect, just like that, just right there. Okay, do we see that? Hello? Hello?
Exhibit A.
Hello? No, wrong number. Yeah. Okay, so this is 7, and then this is what? Negative 15. So the point A would be right here, right? Right?
Mr. Petit,
Yes.
you the cutout.
Why they cut off? Okay. You can hear me now?
Yes, sir. I didn't hear you. You did. I only had a part where you say you marked something.
Okay. Okay, let me see if I'm still here. Okay, I think we're still good. Okay, so we see how we got A, right? This is the point A. 7 up top, negative 15. Do we see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. And because this is a position vector relative to the origin, we have to start at O, at the origin, the point 0, 0. And so our vector would start from 0 and go all the way down here. So this is the vector. This is the vector OA. Okay? This is the vector OA. So that's how we could represent the vector OA. Good.
You could just you did over. You just do this now.
All I did was I first found where the point 7, 15 was. Right? Once I found that point, then I start from the origin and draw the line all the way down. And that's how I got the vector OA.
Okay.
Now to get the vector OB, I have to plot negative 2 and 3. So that'll be negative 2 and then positive 3. That's right now. So negative 2 and positive 3. Negative 2 and positive 3. So my point would be right here for the vector B.
So you guys draw it from 0. I mean the
Yes, I have
from the origin to that point.
Yeah, I draw it from the origin to that point. So it'll be this, right? So this is the vector OB, right? So the vector OA is this. Is the one in red. And the vector OB is the one in blue. Alright. Now the question says, the question says that they want us to find, they want us to determine what is vector AB, okay, as a column vector, which means that we must, let's go back to our diagram. We need the vector AB. So how are we going to get the vector AB? Anyone know?
You're going to add column vector A and vector B to get AB.
We're going to add vector A. What do we mean by? Go ahead.
You're adding OA to OB, sorry.
So this is A, right? And then this is B. So vector AB is what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out what is vector AB. Now, in order to get vector AB, we have to first, it's very important, we have to start at A, right? Then go all the way up, then reach at the origin, and then go up to B. You understand? In order to get AB, we must start at A and end at B. So start at A, go all the way up, and then go all the way up again to get to B. So in other words, in order to get vector AB, what we need to do is we need to sorry, let me color code this so you can see what I'm saying. It's a very interesting idea. So we're trying to get column vector AB. Trying to get AB. Now, in order to get AB, we must first go up on vector what? On vector OA, right?
OA.
But we have to be careful because I want you to understand this. Vector OA goes like this. But we don't want to go in that direction. We want to go in the opposite direction. See what I'm saying? So this one is vector OA, right? It goes downwards, right? That's OA. But in order to start from A to get to the origin, we can't go downward. We must go what?
Let's go up.
We must go upwards. So we technically can't use OA. We have to use something slightly different because yes, we're going on OA, but we are not going downwards. We're going upwards. So we're going in the opposite direction of OA. So it's negative OA. You see that? Because we're going in the opposite direction.
So,
Do we understand that? So OA is going downward, but we can't use OA because OA is going downward. What we have to use the opposite of OA because we're trying to go up. We're trying to go up the same part as OA, but we're trying to just go upwards. So we have to put a negative in front. Okay, so it's negative OA. You understand why we put that negative?
But wasn't it negative from the first time you did it?
No, it was never negative on the first time. Show me. Where was it negative?
Like how do you have negative 15 at the bottom here when you just put it on the outside to say it's negative?
No. We can't do that like that. No. The negative 15 just signifies the point, right?
So the point would be negative.
That's for the point A. You have a positive x coordinate and you have a negative y coordinate. That has nothing to do with the vector itself. So here we have to use the opposite of OA because we're going in the opposite direction. Okay, so we have to put a negative OA because if we just say OA, that means we're going downward, but we ain't trying to go downward. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to go upwards. We're trying to go in the opposite direction of OA. So it's negative OA. Is that clear?
Could you explain one more time why you're going upwards rather than downwards?
Okay, because remember, we're trying to go from A to get to B.
Okay.
So if we start at A, that means we're going and to get to B. We have to go in this direction. But this direction is clearly opposite to where OA is. OA tells me to go downwards. See what I'm saying? But I want to go up the screen because I'm starting from not from the origin. I'm starting from A to get to the origin. Okay, that's very important.
so what if it was already a negative?
What if the vector was already a negative?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, then it would already been going up the stream, and we would never change it.
Yeah.
So negative OA is going to be plus what? Plus how do we get to B, we have to, once we go up this path, so remember we go on the opposite path, so we're going to use the purple. So we're going to start at start at A, go up, 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 and we have arrived at the origin. But have we arrived to B yet?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
So we still have to scale upward. And what vector are we going to use to get to B?
OB?
Vector OB, right? Do we have to put a negative?
No, sir.
Why?
Because it's already OB.
Yeah, because it's already going in the direction that we want
But
it
you're
to go.
trying to get to go.
Yeah. So since it already going in the direction that we want to go, we don't need to put a negative. So we're going up the stream, and we have to use the vector OB to get there. So it's going to be OB. And so this is what we have. And so it's going to be equal to,
Let's repeat.
yeah, well,
That OB would it ever be a negative?
it could be a negative if we're trying to go from B to O.
Okay.
Then we would use negative OB if you're trying to go from B to O. But here we're going from O to B.
Okay.
From O to B. So be straight. We be in the right direction. So that's good. So this is gonna be equal to negative. What is OA? We just saw what OA was. OA was what? 7
over negative 15.
Yeah.
Open bracket.
Not over like a fraction, no. But 7 and negative 15. So don't put a fraction sign inside this. Plus what? Plus OB. What is OB?
-3.
Negative 2 over 3.
-2 and 3.
Negative 2 and 3. Good. Now, what we're going to do with this negative is that we're going to apply it to both numbers in the column. So it's going to end up being a negative times 7 is going to be what? Negative 1 times 7 is what?
-7.
Negative 7. So we're going to put negative 7.
Mr. D, can you repeat that, please?
Okay, so what we did is we take this negative and we apply it to 7. So negative 1 times 7 is negative 7.
Okay.
And then we take this negative and we apply it to the negative 15 as well. So negative times a negative 1 times negative 15 is going to be what?
Negative 15.
Positive 15.
Positive 15. Because negative times a negative is up.
Oh, yeah. Positive. Sorry.
Yeah, positive. Plus, open bracket, negative 2 and 3. And so the question is, how do we add vectors? How do we add vectors? Well, we add vectors one entry at a time, corresponding entries. So that means that we say negative 7 plus negative 2. So negative 7 plus negative 2. That's going to give us what?
+9.
Positive 9.
Negative 9.
Oh, right. Is it negative 9 because we
Because
adding?
look at this. This is negative 7 plus negative 2. We know that it's going to be negative 7. A positive times a negative is what? A negative. So what is negative 7 and negative 2? That's going to be negative 9. Because if you owe someone $7 and you owe someone $2, you owe altogether $9.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have 15 plus 3. That's 15 plus 3. What is 15 plus 3?
18.
18. 18. All right, so that means that our vector AB is equal to -9 and 18. So that's how we write AB as a column vector. So how do we feel about this question?
Need more practice, but it was good.
Need more practice, okay. Anyone else?
It was good. I understood everything.
Okay. So the trick here is we have to remember that it's negative OA, not just OA. Because remember, you're going in the opposite direction.
Mr. Potato said I don't understand. Like, I got the same thing as you, but I didn't put the negative on the outside. Like how you have it. I put it. Is it okay if I just put it on the inside, or if I skip a step? Did I skip a step?
How did you not? What did you do?
Okay, I didn't put the negative. Oh, I just negative the I flip it basically. Like I just take the negative and put it on the top, and I know automatically the bottom is gonna be a positive. So I didn't put that part in.
Or you
I
just
just
go right here and say -7 and 15.
Yeah, that's why when you said I put the negative, I got confused. I was like,
Oh,
I don't have that.
but you applied it. You applied it even still.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I didn't put it. That's
You didn't
why I
put it in.
thought.
Okay,
Do I
okay.
have to put it?
I mean, for your purposes to understand, yes, I would put it. And also to
Okay.
let the examiner know that hey, you know what you're doing. Um, so yeah, I would put it.
All right.
Okay, so this is how we find the column vector AB. So we start from A to get to B.
Specifically, like this graph thing will be drawn, that can be on the exam, or we have to draw it.
Um, you would have to draw it. It's not going to be given. Okay, so can I move it?
Yes, sir.
That was next question.
Yes.
Like how you just started, right? You just put 1 and then you put 7. You can do that, or you have to fill it in.
Yeah, you don't have to fill it in. Once you get the key points in, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what we did. We expressed AB as a column vector. All right. Lest I forget, let me take the attendance. I didn't take the attendance yesterday, you know. Oh, I don't see. I don't see. I don't see 1. Neither Odisha. Okay. All right, so that's that particular one. So moving right along. Okay, we could check our answer, you know, because I think I have the answer in this particular booklet. Let's see if I have it. Let's see. Mhm. I remember having this, or it should be here, you know, but I don't see it. I don't see it right now. It should be a part of. Give me one moment. Let me see if I can find it. Right. I guess not. It's somewhere inside this book. All right. Nonetheless, those are the responses. Okay, so let's go back to, I would say, familiar territory. Okay, so the next thing that we have here is geometry. They say make an accurate sketching. They say make an accurate sketching of the drawing above. Do they want us to use our write and draw? Right? Imagine write down the length of AC. What type
Mr.
of
Petit,
yes sir?
I can write down question C, Bliss.
Question C, question C. Oh, you mean yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do C yet.
So we come back to it?
Yeah, come back to C. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, welcome Wayne. Okay, so yeah, so let's do that. Let's do that. Let's say they say make an accurate drawing of the sketch below. So we just have to draw this out and figure out what C is. Okay. Alright, we could do that. And what type of triangle is ABC? Okay, yeah, let's do that. So they just say make an accurate drawing. So that means we don't have to construct anything. I mean,
Scale. The scaling.
it's not a scalene. It's not a scalene. This is going to be just as we could use our. So take out your. All it needs for this one is a ruler and a protractor. Yeah, that's all you need, a ruler and a protractor. So what I would do first is, what we want to do is we want to first draw the 8 centimeters. So I would first try to draw this base, the base BC, right? And I have to make sure that it's 8 centimeters. So we have to do that and ensure that it's 8 centimeters. So get our ruler.
Mr. Petit.
Yes, ma'am.
The question is on the AB thing, and see, we coming back to that.
Yeah, we're coming back to that. So here, this is going to be, we start at 0 and we have to make it up to 8 centimeters. So that should be it, eh? Let's see.
Yes, sir.
8 centimeters. Yeah, a little bit more than 8, but we'll go with that. It's a little bit more than 8. Let me see. It's a little bit more than 8, so I drew it too long. Just be careful. You gotta make sure it's 8 centimeters. Good. 8 centimeters, right? And so this is gonna be the point B as shown in the diagram, and this is gonna be the point C as shown in the diagram, and then this is 8 centimeters. 8 centimeters. Good. Next up, we're going to take a protractor and we need to put it at 120. So this is 120 degrees, because that's what the graph have, right? Angle B should be 120 degrees. So that's 120 degrees right there. $120. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so we have to all right, so we have to start here and go all the way up to 120. I mean, we have to make sure we cross at this angle. Is anyone following in their books with this drawing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, that's good. So we're gonna start here and go all the way up. Make sure it crosses that. All right, we don't care how long we do it. We're gonna cut off what we need to. Okay, so that should be 120 degrees. Let's check it though. See if it's 120 degrees. Right, put that there. Is it 120 degrees? What do you think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 120 degrees. Right, just come
Yes, sir.
Good. So let's actually label that, right? So it's gonna be the angle, and it's gonna be 120 degrees. Good. All right. Next up, we're going to make sure that this side is 8 centimeters. So we have to make a cutoff point. So what I'll do on my side is I would um, I would take my compass and make sure it's make sure that it's 8 centimeters. Alright, so it's gonna go all and stand. Good, make sure it's 8 centimeters. Good. And then lock it. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that I could go here and cut off 8 centimeters. So here should be 8 centimeters. Alright. And so let's measure that. So this should be, if this is 0, Is this 8 centimeters? What do you think? What do you think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, start at 0, all the way at 8. Yep, just about 8 centimeters. Okay, good. So that's 8 centimeters. Now what we need to do is we need to connect this point with C. Good. All right, now that we have done that, we have to measure. So let's call this point, this should be the point A, I believe. What is it? This is A. This is the point A, capital A at that. All right, so good. And then now we have to figure out what is the length of AC. Okay, so the length of AC, according to my drawing, if I start at 0, I inhale, I'm getting very close to 14. Not quite 14, but very close to 14. So this is going to be start here. And I'm getting 13 point, this is 13.56. We see what I'm doing. Look, let's look carefully. Look, this is 13.5, right?
Yes.
And it's 13.6, 13.7, 13.8. 13.8, I would say 13.8 is very close to 13.9 too. But it's definitely 13.8. It's not, it didn't reach 13.9 yet. So between 13.8 and 13.9, I'd go with 13.8. Okay, so that's what I get, 13.8. 13.8. So they say here measure, anyone got their answer? What do you get for length AC? Let me know.
13.75, like
7?
in the middle.
3.7, okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? What we could do, we could verify what our answer is. So I'm going to use a online calculator, triangle calculator. Please excuse the odds that is beyond this site. There's be some strange odds on the site, so please forgive me already. All right, good.
You just download.
Okay, good. So the angle here was what on the side? What was the angle? Let me give it
120.
120. We don't know the angle of here of this one. What was the length of this side? 8 centimeters, right?
8 centimeters.
8 centimeters, and we don't know what the length of this side was. So let's calculate and see. So they say that, oh wow, wow, we on point. We got 13.8. Remember I was telling you it was either 13.8, 13.9.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is mark on. Wow, that's some pretty good. Wow, that's crazy. I'm actually happy
Definitely.
because we are so close to that. That's exactly what this thing says geometrically. This thing says, okay, this is 13.5, 13.6, 13.7, 13.8, and some. You see that? Wow, that's pretty accurate, man. Okay, so 13.8. Either 13.8 or 13.9, any one of them could work.
I get 13.8.
Yeah, 13.8, good. Wow, I'm so proud. This is amazing. Wow, I didn't know why you could be that accurate. Spot on, man. Spot on. Who does that in real life? Okay, awesome. Awesome stuff. So So let me see. No, I don't want it that way. I want it the next way. So let's go back here. It's going to be boom, boom. Good. So the answer is for C is 13.8. So let's actually label that, right? Let's actually label it. I am not supposed to put the labeling here. I am actually supposed to put the labeling on the graph itself. So this is supposed to be 13.8 centimeters. All right, so that's important now. All right, so what else they asked us for? What type of triangle is A, B, C? What type of triangle is it? What type of triangle is it? What type of triangle is it? Anyone knows? What type of triangle do we have? So let's look at it again. Notice that this is 8 centimeters, okay? And this is also 8 centimeters. So these two sides are what?
The same.
They are the same, okay? So what do we call
The same.
a triangle that has two sides which are the same?
Isosceles.
Isosceles triangle. Very good. Isosceles triangle. All right, so this is definitely an isosceles triangle. So what was the size of it again? The size of AC. What do we get again? Anyone can remember?
13.8 centimeters.
13.8 centimeters. Very good. So we got 13.8 centimeters. And we also saw that the triangle that we have is an isosceles triangle, and the reason is that and just a quick note, an isosceles triangle is one that has two sides.
That's a good tip.
Yes, ma'am. And two angles.
I could get the question for A, please.
The question. One moment. Yeah. Okay. So 13.8 centimeters is the length of AC. Type of triangle that we're dealing with is an isosceles triangle because it has two sides which are equal. Now, she asked for the question. The question was this, right? Make an accurate sketch. Any questions on that for me, please?
No, sir.
Can you explain the how y'all measure? How y'all measure it?
How we measure AC?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once we very good question, Kennedy. Once we got AC and connected it, what we did was we used our ruler, and I started at 0. Okay, and once I zoom in on this side, I just count. So this is 13. So 13.1, 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, 13.5, 13.6, 13.7, 13.8. Okay, so it's 13.8. That's how we got 13.8.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I get the last question, please.
Mr. Padil,
Yes, sir.
can I write down the note, please?
Yeah, no problem. Um, Miss Cooper, you're right. You finished writing this down?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. So let's write this. So this will be the end of it. So the sides, when we measure it, we got 13.8, and we know it's an isosceles triangle because it has two sides which are equal, and two angles are equal. Once it's an isosceles triangle, it has two sides and two angles which are equal. Okay. Okay, so please send in the notes for me, especially for those who I am not hearing your voice.
I have it.
No problem, thank you. For those who I am not hearing your voice, I need to see your notes. So please send in the notes for me for this
Okay.
question or for anyone that you have. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Thank you, Lakeisha. For those of us who still haven't been sending it, please send in your notes for me, please. Mr. Wayne,
This with two.
Therese McDonald, Treasure Hepburn, Matteo Miller, Lionel, I ain't got nothing. Jerry, Haley, Eloise, Dylan, Conrad, Sean, Rakia, Ashanet, and Abigail. Please send in the notes for me. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Miss Joseph.
Well, I hope to let you know that my phone completely went blackout on me today, so I can't basically contact you. Can I give
Oh,
you my name?
so how you got inside class?
Um, I set this thing up whereas everything that's on my phone is on my laptop. So if if either one were to blow out on me, I'll have a backup, basically.
Wait, so I don't understand how you do that.
Okay. When you first buy a phone, your email. I save everything on my email, and it's so automatically it'll be on my laptop then.
Okay, wow. Okay, so what you want me to do?
I was saying you could, cause the link, cause I missed yesterday, so I was wondering if you could send me the recording.
Oh, I sent it to your phone.
Yeah, it sends my email.
Oh, okay, send it.
If only laptops and stuff could have shared chip, I could have been like, okay, I want my information on that too. But yeah, I have the only thing I have uploaded was on my email was the old recording, so I have all the old recordings, just the new ones.
Okay,
I'll have
understood.
to figure out. Yeah.
All right. I mean, everything is on my YouTube channel. Okay, so that's this particular question. This one is on ratio. Number 7A. Number 7A. So we have here Angela, Suzanne, and Peter share 1,000. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Ashanet. Thank you, Conrad. And all of you who are sending in their notes. The rest of you, please do that, especially Mr. Wayne. All right, so Angela, Suzanne, and Peter share 1,800 acres of land in the ratio 3 to 2 to 4. How many acres of land will Peter receive? How many acres of land will Peter receive? So we basically have to take, anyone have any idea before I spill the beans on how we would do something like this?
You would
Add all of them to get the
you would add the ratios together, and then you would divide them by the number of acres, and then you get one share, and then you take that one share and you multiply it by the amount of shares each individual person had.
Very good. Very good. Said ever so eloquently, right? So we need to figure out what is one share, okay? Or we would say one equal part.
One share is 200.
So one equal share or one equal part or one share is going to be equal to, we're going to take the entire amount of acres. That's a lot of acres. Man, 1,800 acres. That's a whole lot. Some people whole houses on 0.34 acres. So imagine having 1,800 acres.
Man, stop it.
Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm telling you. This is a lot of acres, man. Wow.
That's like 8 football fields now.
I don't know it compared to a football field, but man, that's a lot of acres. Alright, so we're gonna add it. So it's gonna be 3 plus 2 plus 4. Let me just show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean when I say that's a lot of acres. So let me show you what I mean. So if we say homes in the Bahamas for sale, right? Look how much. Let's see if we see something like this. Okay, let's look at something like okay. Let's say for example something like this, right? How much acres do you think this is? This entire property right here is 0.27 acres. I don't even want. That's this entire property here, right? It's not even on 1 acre. You understand that? So if this whole thing is not even 1 acre. All right? And this is a pretty big plot of land. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yes.
So this isn't even half acre. So imagine
1,800.
1,800 acres. Oh wow, that's a whole lot of land.
That's a whole island.
That's a whole lot. That's crazy. Equal to
Smells answer.
all right, so which answer is Miss Cooper?
200.
200. So we have 18,000 divided by, what is 3 plus 2 plus 4?
9.
9.
Very good. 9. So we have 18,000 divided by, sorry, not 18,000, 1,800 divided by 9. And what is that?
300.
300?
200.
200.
200. 200. Kennedy, be alright?
Oh, yeah, it's one share.
One share. Yeah, one share. Okay, so one share is 200. So if we want to figure out what was the acres of land that Peter received, So acres.
Peter would get 800.
Peter received is going to be equal to, he got how much shares?
2004.
4 shares, right?
20.
Because remember, it's very important. They should have added the word respectively here, but what they mean here is that in the order that it comes is in the order that the numbers come. So Angela got 3 shares. Suzanne got 2 shares. And Peter got 4 shares. And so the acres of land, so with Peter, the number of shares that he's going to have is 4 shares. So that's why we say acres of land that Peter received is equal to 4 shares, which is going to be equal to 4 times how much? 4 times
200.
200, which is going to be equal to what?
800.
800. That's a lot, right? That's a lot.
I did mine as a fraction.
You did yours as a fraction. How did you do that?
So I added the two amounts, what Angela, Suzanne, and Peter have, which is 9, and I put the share that Peter got, which is 4, so 4 for 9, and I times that by 800. I mean 1800.
1800. That's another way to do it as well. Okay. That's how I was taught it in school too. Okay, that's one way to do it. That way is fine.
Miss Petit.
Yes, ma'am.
I already do this question in school.
You ready to do this question in school? You serious?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Was it for homework or it was in class?
It wasn't class, but I did it ahead of them because they were slunking.
Oh.
Alright. They were slunking in the school book.
They always do that.
Alright. You only in a virtual no more, right, Miss Cooper?
Yes, mom, we still on virtual. Yes, sir. We still on virtual. We just like in
Why you
school.
want to make me a mom, Miss?
I didn't say that.
Always want to make me a mom. I don't understand.
This isn't that.
Go ahead.
I was saying that we on virtual, but we in school.
I don't get that, but anyway, I don't get that.
She mean hybrid.
I think some days they gotta go to school and some days don't they?
It ain't even like that. We to school the whole week. I don't know why we don't just stay home.
Wait, y'all to school but still virtual?
Yep.
That's funny. I don't understand. Wait, so what happened to the teachers in the school?
Nothing.
I don't understand that.
The problem over here, we don't have teachers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we only school face to face for 2 classes.
Okay, I see. What teachers y'all don't have?
I don't know. We have a language and that's his teachers say the 2 topics.
Okay. But for math, y'all just do virtual.
Every other subject is virtual.
Wow. Okay.
Jeez, how y'all can do BJC?
I didn't know they need a social studies teacher because I don't know virtual.
I get that. Anyway, so 6 books cost $9.24. Calculate the cost of 1 book. All right, calculate the cost of
$1.54.
$1.54. So what we do is we take the total cost for 6 books. Because remember, 6 books cost $9.24. So what we have to do is we have to take $9.24 and split it into 6 equal parts. All right, That way,
Yes.
we'll know that the first one is for the first book, the second one is for the second book, the third one is for the third book, the fourth one for the fourth book, the fifth one for the fifth book, and the sixth one for the sixth book. So we have to take 924 and split it into 6 equal parts. Every time you have something, try to split it into equal parts. That's division. All right, and so it's 9.24 divided by 6. Someone said, what was the answer?
$1.54.
$1.54.
Yeah, I got that too.
Yes, sir.
Right, Lakeisha, very good. $1.54. $1.54. Okay. Okay, so all right. Before we move on, someone is asking me to explain the ratio again. So let me do that before we move on. So for the ratio, we have the ratio for Angela, Susan, and Peter, and they split it, this amount of acres, 1,800 acres, we splitting it into three persons. All right. So 1,800 acres, we are splitting that among 3 persons, and the ratio is 3 to 4 to 2. Angela got 3 parts or 3 shares. Suzanne got 2 shares, and Peter got 4 shares. And so in order to figure out how much acres of land Peter received, we know that Peter got 4 shares. We first have to figure out, well, what is 1 share? Like, what is 1 share? What is 1 equal part? Well, 1 equal part is going to be equal to 1,800 divided by the number of parts that we have. The number of parts that we have is definitely 9, because 3 parts from Angela, 2 parts from Suzanne, and 4 parts from Peter. So it's going to be 3 plus 2 plus 4, which is 9 parts. So this is 1,800 divided by 9. This is 9 equal parts. We're trying to take 1,800 and divide it into 9 equal pieces, equal parts, equal shares. And in order to do that, we use division. 1,800 divided by 9 is definitely 200. So 1 share is 200. But Peter got 4 shares. And so since Peter got 4 shares, it's going to be 4 times 200. 4 times 200 is 800. So definitely Peter got 800 acres. So that's how we did that question. Hopefully that helps to give you an understanding of it for the person who asks that question. All right, so let's move on. So 6 books cost $9.24. Calculate the cost of 1 book. The cost of 1 book is going to be equal to 9.24 divided by 6. Once we do the division, we get 1.54. So $1.54. Sounds about right. That's how much books usually cost. I mean, before, they used to cost like, like $1. So now they're going up by the gallon. They're going up, my friend. They're going up. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's consider the next question. So that question was pretty straightforward, right? Pretty easy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's look at this question. Yeah, let's look at this question. So it says that 4 men take 14 days to build a shed. How long will it take 7 men to build the same shed?
We did this before. I remember this question.
I remember questions similar to this. Did we even ever figure it out?
No.
Okay, 4 men take 14 days to build a shed. How long will it take 7 men to build the same shed? Now, the way how I learned to do this stuff like this was we make 2 columns, one with men and the other one with days. One with men and the other one with days. So we have 4 men. And how much days? 14 days. And we're trying to figure out how long, so that's time, right? So how many days will it take? How long? So they're asking us a question of time. How long? We don't know how long. We're trying to figure out how long. So because we're trying to figure out the time or the number of days, we don't know what it is. So we're going to put X because we don't know how long it's going to take. So we just put X. All right. And we're trying to figure out how long it will take 7 men to build it. The trick here is that what we do is we cross multiply. All right. And so we say 4 times X, which is 4x equals to, what is 7 times 14?
98.
7 times 14 is
98.
98.
28.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 98. So we have 4x equals to 98. Now, what do we do to solve x?
Carry over.
Carry over? No. Can't carry over nothing.
Divide.
Divide both sides by
4.
4.
4.
these two cancel out, so x is going to be equal to, what is 98 divided by 4?
24.5.
24.5. So it's going to take 24 and a half days to build the same shed. So this is the
Can
way.
you round it off to 25?
No.
It's a petite.
I don't round it off.
Quick question. Why would it take it longer? There's many more men compared.
That's strange. And the only way, yeah, okay, so that means we did this wrong then. That means we did this wrong. Very good. The
I
point.
have a way.
We did it wrong. Go ahead.
So right, I remember doing this in my on math. So our teacher tell us the first 2 numbers that we read, you had to multiply, and the last number you saw, you had to divide it.
So 4 times 14 divided by
7, yes.
4 times 14 divided by 7. Let's see.
I get 8.
4 times
4 times 14 divided by 7.
divided by 7. It's 8. That 8 makes more sense. 8 makes more sense because it's less.
How did she say what?
She said that you take the first 2 numbers, 4 times 14, and you multiply them, and then the last number you see, you divide it.
Oh, so what you get, then you divide it by 7.
Yeah, so this is definitely wrong. So she's saying take 4 times 14 and divide it by 7. 4 times 14 is 98. And divide that all by 7. We get that's gonna be equal to 8. What I'm curious to know is, why does that work? 8 days. 4 men, 14 days. 4 men, 14 days.
It makes sense.
I mean, it does make sense. It's less days. 4 men, 14 days. It says we build in the same shed. 4 times 14 and divided by What do we have here?
Susie,
Hey,
you showing that 40 times 4 is 98?
yeah.
It's supposed to be 56.
I thought it was
14
56.
times 4 is 56.
Yeah, 56. My apologies. 56.
So we ain't wrong.
Yeah, 56.
Divided by 7 gives you 8.
Yeah, 56. My apologies. The answer feel right and it looks right. I just don't know why it works. So let's put an
Not
asterisk.
56.
Well, you actually have three extra guys helping out. So cut
It
the
should,
14 down
it should
to
be.
8. So
Yeah,
it feels right.
it feels
It
right.
feels correct.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
feels right. I just can't explain why it makes sense. I'll have to think about it. So let's put an asterisk on this one to see. There's definitely a way to explain this, but I can't say right now. All right. All right, so that one, interesting. Interesting.
Don't have the answer.
Okay, so not on the answer, not on the answer key. I just make them up. I just answer them as they come along, and some I know, some I don't know. I'm surprised, man. I feel bad that I don't know. I just have to think about it, and I don't want to take too long to think about it right now. We only have a few minutes left.
Alright.
Let's finish this one though. Let's finish with this one. So we have to calculate the magnitude AB. Okay. So this is remember I told you that vectors has both magnitude and direction. Remember we said that?
Yeah.
So we saw the direction of AB, right? We saw when we looked at the vector AB, we saw that the vector AB was going in start from A to go to B. So it's going in this direction. So again, the vector AB, let me use a highlighter. Highlight. So the vector AB was going in this direction. So we know the direction of AB, the vector AB. But what is its magnitude? Like, what is its size? Like, if we were to take a ruler and measure this out, like, what would it be? So we're trying to figure out the size of AB. Okay, we're trying to figure out the size of it. So that's what we mean by the magnitude. So the magnitude of a vector we denote by using this bar and the vector inside. That's how we denote magnitude. Okay, the bar and the vector inside. Now, first let's take our vector AB. We have to first consider our vector AB. So let me get that. Remember that we saw earlier that the vector AB. So let's put that in. So it's going to be this and something goes inside that. That's the top. Let's use this. There we go. So we saw that the vector AB oh no, my apologies. We don't need the magnitude yet. We just need the vector. So we don't need the magnitude yet. We just want the vector. So we saw that the vector AB, capital A, capital B is going to be equal to. We saw that it's equal to, let's go up here.
-9 and 18.
-9 and 18. That's what we saw earlier. -9 and 18. So that's what the vector AB is. -9 and 18. So -9 and 18. That's what we saw. So this is the vector AB. Now the magnitude of the vector, which we denote by using a bar on the inside. So when the mic is on, please turn off your mic if you're not speaking. So we want the magnitude. The symbol that we're going to use for magnitude is this one, an open bar. Let me move this. Let me get it inside. Let's see if they allow me to do that. No. So good. AB. Good. Good. So it's going to be equal to. It's going to be equal to the square root of open bracket. Do we have another square root sign? I remember a better square root sign. Oh yes, we do. So square root of
9 to the power 2.
-9. -9. The power of 2 plus
Plus 18 to the
18
power
to the power of. So what did we do here? We took the first value and we square it. We did the second value and we also square it. Good. So what is -9 squared? What is -9 squared? That's -9 times -9, which is what?
81
81. -9 plus 18 squared, so 18 times 18.
324.
So let's have to put in the calculator. It's gonna be 18 times 18. That's what 18 squared means. 18 times 18. So that's 324. And so now we have 81 plus 324. What is that?
It will be 4405.
Yes, we get 405. Once we add them together, we get 405.
And then we square root it.
Good. Now we take the square root of 405. So
And then
what is the square root now?
I got another square. And then I got a decimal.
So square root of 405 is 20.112. So 20.112. So 20.12. Okay, so that's our answer for this. Any questions for me? Any questions?
That's supposed to be really.
Say it again.
So how are you supposed to do with a pen and a paper?
A pen and a paper. This question you don't do with a pen and a paper. You have to use a calculator.
Oh.
Unless, I mean, you could do it. No, no, don't do it. No. You would not want to. It'll take too long. So what we did here, in order to find the magnitude of AB, we first had to determine what AB was. We saw that AB was not -9 and 18. In order to find the magnitude of AB, which is actually the size of the vector AB, we have to use the formula. The formula says just take the square root of your x value squared plus the y coordinate squared. So 18 squared. The square root -9 squared. -9 squared is 81. 18 squared is 324. And we add these two. Once we add them, we get 405. If we take the square root of 405, we get 20.12. That's how we do it. This is really bothering me. I don't know why I can't find this question on this paper. It should be right there. Let me see. Let me look carefully this time. Oh, I think I just saw it. No, that ain't the same. But these questions always come. They are very frequent questions that they like to put. Okay, so Nancy, did we ever do this?
Pardon me?
We did this one before?
With the one we on now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
The exact question, I mean.
Yeah. I practice it on my own, but you give me similar ones, yeah.
Similar ones, yeah. I know
Yeah, the one we just did is the one I practiced, like, I think the other day. I don't know how you get that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
The other day, okay, so that had to been. Okay, that's just storm through, so you can't really miss it like that.
Yeah, but we did a bunch of those. Is there more to vectors? Like, does it get more complicated than, apart from the other type, does it get more complicated?
Well, they could bring in something like this, or like this. All these are vectors question that I compiled from all the papers that I saw.
Okay.
So
they look interesting.
Yeah, they are interesting.
Yeah, that interesting is not me, but okay.
Oh, see it there. Number 16. Okay. We added, we get 9 and -9 and 18. Okay, so we did do it right. And then once we take the yes. Okay, this is what we did. We did do it right. Okay, good. And then it's gonna be 20. We got 20.112. Yeah. So in general, if we have the vector AB, which is equal to mn, then the magnitude of it is going to be what? The first coordinate squared plus the second coordinate squared. Okay, and so that's how we figure this one out. Alright, so that's how we would do it.
Even if your calculator give it to you back in like squared, right? Because it's a decimal. Is that a problem?
What did the calculator give you? Was that what I'm trying to figure out?
No, it gave me all two. It gave me the decimal, and then I could do the arrow, whereas I could convert it to square root.
What
It
did
could
it give
give
you? What did it give you back in square root?
Okay, let me put it back in the calculator. Um, square root of 105. It gave me the square root of 9, and then and the square root it gave me 5. And when I did the arrow, it gave me the
Oh, so
decimal.
they gave you the square root of 9 times 5.
No, 9. No, 9. Then they do the square root, then 5.
Oh, okay. 9. Oh, okay, 9. That's neat. That's a nice way to put it. Okay, it's the same thing. That's a nice calculator. You know,
Yeah.
what type of calculator is?
You just bought my calculator out the other day.
What type of, I ain't Texas and not the Texas Instrument.
No. I put in the box name. I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Hold on. At the bottom it says the Texas Instrument. So I figured.
Anyway, okay, I'll have to see it though. Okay, so that brings us to the end of what should I say, math? Brings us to the end of math. Please send in the math notes. For those, especially for those who are not speaking in the lesson, please send in the math notes. Next up, we're gonna have general science, then health, right, Miss Cooper? So if you are not taking those two subjects
Totally.
and you do not want to stay back, then you are free to leave. But we continue our study on tomorrow at 6. Yes, Miss Nancy.
Well, Dr. Violet, can I give you my email if you could forward the recording of yesterday's recording? If you could send it to me.
When will your phone be back?
I gotta get a new one. It's time to an upgrade.
Okay, well, the good thing is I have your sister phone number, so if I want to reach out.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So wait, so are you gonna send me an email? Send it to my email. That's what to do.
Okay, can I have your email?
Okay.
If you could type it in the group chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So that's it down. Alright, so let's continue. Let's continue with general science. Alright. So let's head up. So again, for those persons who are not a part of general science, you're free to leave. For those of us who have to take general science, then we are staying. So the last thing we did was danger rules. That's what we did in last time for general science.
I think so.
Okay. For real? That's the 8th though. We had a general science meeting before that. Oh no. We was on
Difference between animal and plant.
yeah. Okay. So we said that the difference between animals and plants is that I should mention that what's interesting about general is that general science does have some health components to it. Excuse me. What I mean is that what I mean is that for general science, um, health science is also mixed into that as well. So that's also interesting to note. So that means that if you're doing general science and you're doing health and you know health, it's also an advantage as well because a subsection of general science is a little bit about biology, and so that's why we end up talking about the differences between plants and animals and the levels of organization, which is going to be the cells, the tissues, the organs, the systems, and the body. Okay. All right. So last time we were here, we was talking about, the difference between plants and animals. We said that the plants just move parts of themselves, but the animals, they move their whole body. Say, for example, an animal, walking across the field, they move in their whole body, as opposed to a plant which would only bend itself in, trying to reach the sunlight or whatever. And they don't usually move place to place by their own effort. Okay, if they're moving, either the wind blowing or something is moving it, not it moving itself. That's different from animals and humans. We move by our own ability, moving from place to place. The next thing is that plants make their own food. They're producers. They do not eat anything else. They, as a general rule, make their own food. Also, but animals are consumers. They eat other animals. Plants respond slowly to stimuli. They respond over time, but animals respond rapidly to stimuli. And then we talked about the levels of organization. We have the cells, the tissues, the organs, and systems, and then the entire body. Now here we're going to talk about specifically the differences. So today is the 22nd of February. So February 22nd. And we're going to zoom in on talking about still the differences, but the difference between plant cell and animal cell. So differences between plant and animal cell. Okay. What is the difference? Okay, so just to show you it in picture form. By the way, before I even dive into it, anyone know like the difference between a plant cell and animal cell?
Plant cell have cell wall, animal cell does not.
That's a major one. What's another major difference between plant cell and animal cell?
They have a big vacuole in animal cells as many.
Yes, that's true. And then what's another difference? Let's look at an actual plant cell to see what I mean. So plant cell, they have pretty neat diagrams done right. So this is a nice depiction of a plant cell. Okay, here we have the cell wall. Okay, all right, the plant cell has a cell wall. We have mitochondria. Notice that they have a very large vacuole, right? We have the nucleus. We have these chloroplasts, and then we have the cell membrane. So this is a depiction, very neat, and I like this one, of a plant cell. So that's a plant cell for you. So let me put it here. It's our plant cell. But take a look at an animal cell, right? Now when we look at an animal cell, so let me give you a nice diagram of an animal cell. So this is a good diagram of an animal cell. The first thing we noticed is that this one it doesn't have that rectangular shape, right? It doesn't have that rigid, firm shape. You see that, right? So that's a major difference. It doesn't have a cell wall. If we notice carefully, so let's look at let's go back here. So and let's go behind X, go down with it. So let's look at it here, right? Put them in a good position with each other. So just that you see. So let's see. We see that all two of them have a cell membrane. So a cell membrane is the outer covering. All two of them have a cell membrane. So this is the outer covering, right, of this animal cell. The plant cell also has that outer covering, right? But what the plant cell has that the animal doesn't cell, that the animal cell doesn't have, that it has a cell wall. Okay. Also, this plant cell is like a firm, firm, rigid, well defined shape, right? But the animal cell is not no particular shape. It's no they could be any shape that they want. For example, if we look here, um, in the animal cells, this one is circular. This one, like I say, there's no real shape really. It's just whatever it wanna be. So it's not really well defined, well formed shape. It's just all about a place, right? So that's an animal cell. So when we look at the plant cell, its shape is well defined. Okay, so let's look at this one. So, but both of them have a mitochondrion. See this mitochondrion, the red stuff. So both of them have a mitochondrion because animal cell has mitochondrion and plant cell have a mitochondrion. So that's good. Both of them have the nucleus, right? Both of them have a nucleus. But what does a plant cell have that an animal cell does not have?
Chloroplast.
The chloroplast, right? So that's the differences right there. So plant cell have a cell wall, animal cells do not. Plant cell have chloroplast, animal cells do not. Plant cell have a large vacuole. You see this large vacuole that it have? But with the animal cell, where's the vacuole in this one? Notice that the vacuole here they are small. Okay? So those are the major differences, and that's what we're gonna outline in our table. One thing with general science, you're gonna have a table. So let's construct our table right now. I think that someone is asking to join. Oh no, man. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Dylan, can you tell your brother um to try to rejoin because I accidentally denied his entry.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so yeah, so let's go. Let's return to the notes. Right, so the differences between plant and animal cell. Four columns. No. We just need. Yeah, we could do it. We could do it. Let's go. Admit. So plant cell. So draw this table for me and animal cell. So it's gonna be number 1, number 2, number 3. This table is gonna be such that these are closer. All right. Okay, so we said that a plant cell has one large vacuole, right? And an animal cell has what?
Many.
Has many vacuoles. We said that a plant cell has a cell wall, and with the animal cell has no cell wall. We said that a plant cell has chloroplast, what is inside chloroplast, by the way? There's a green thing.
Mucus.
There's a green thing.
Chlorophyll.
Very good. Chlorophyll. Has chloroplast with chlorophyll. But animal cell has what? Has no chloroplast and no chlorophyll. So that's very important. Plant cell, one large vacuole, many vacuoles for the animal cell. Plant cell has a cell wall, has no cell wall, animal cell. Plant cell has chloroplast with chlorophyll. Animal cell has no chloroplast and no chlorophyll. So those are the differences. Okay, so let's go with start to talk about basic cell terminology, all right, and definition. So basic cell terminology and definition. So now in the last few minutes that we have, we're going to talk about certain definitions that we have and certain words that we use when we talk about a cell and its parts. So we would say organelles of a cell. And what is an organelle? Anyone know? What's an organelle? Anyone?
A mucus in the cell.
Mucus? No. We say that a cell has many organelles. What are organelles?
Different parts.
Yeah, different parts. When you see organelle, what word you can make out of organelle?
Organs.
Organ, yeah. So organelle is basically little organs, okay, of the cell. So is a specialized part of a cell that resembles and functions like an organ. So examples would be your nucleus, chloroplast, your vacuole, these would be your different organelles. So the specialized part of a cell. So when you think about organelles, just think about how your body is made up of different organs, like your heart, your liver, and so on. And so just like that, the cell is made up of different organs, little organs because they're little in size, but they have a specialized function in the cell. So let's talk about some of the excuse me, some of the different organs in your cell. Can you give me probably the most important organ in your cell?
The heart.
In the cell. The nucleus. Now the nucleus is probably the most important part of the cell because
The brain.
exactly similar to the brain of the cell. That's Nathan, right?
Yes, sir.
Similar to the brain of the cell. Okay. So it's similar to it's like the brain of the cell. So like the brain of the cell. So the nucleus is the part of the cell that
Controls the activities.
controls the activities of the cell. It contains another reason why the cell is also important, because the cell contains genetic material. So inside your cell are the chromosomes, the genes, which is responsible for passing traits from parent to child. Okay, so it contains, that's why the side of the nucleus is also important, because that's where your genes are. So it contains what we call chromosomes. I put contains twice. It contains chromosomes that are responsible for what? For passing
Parent to child.
for passing traits from parent to child. Then we have another part of the cell we call so let me just point out the nucleus. So in the plant cell, this portion, the pink portion, is the nucleus. In the plant cells, animal cell, the nucleus is here. In the plant cell, the nucleus is here. Okay, so that's what we have. So the nucleus, okay, that's the nucleus. Now we're gonna talk about the cytoplasm. Anyone know what the cytoplasm is? Anyone know? Cytoplasm. Hello, anyone home? Hello, are we here?
Yes, sir.
Give me a hint.
Say it again.
Give me a little clue.
Say it again. You say give you a little clue.
Yeah, give me a little clue. Might come to my mind.
Okay, a clue is resting place.
So it's responsible for breathing and stuff like that?
No, resting place. Resting place.
Oh.
So let's look at the plant, the animal cell. Where's the cytoplasm?
Oh.
You see the cytoplasm? Okay. So it's all this green stuff, right? So why do you think they call it the resting place?
Where all organs lay.
Exactly. That's where all the organs, that's where all the organelles lay. Okay? That's why it's called a resting place.
Oh, again, y'all general science class.
This is health too. This is health. This is really health. It's part of health. So is This is the jelly-like material. It's usually the definition, but they like the jelly-like material into which the nucleus and other organelles rest, right? Rest in, or we say are embedded in, okay? It is the largest part of the cell's protoplasm. So that's the cytoplasm, it's the resting place. Okay, so that's the resting place. So next up we have the protoplasm. So the protoplasm is the living, we say it's living material. So that's the word, the abbreviation that we're gonna give, or the, oh, it's 8:30 already. This is our last one. So protoplasm is living material. So before we move on to health, this is the living material of all cells. It is made up of the nucleus and the cytoplasm. So the nucleus and the cytoplasm together makes up what we call the living material of the cell. So next time we come, we will talk about what exactly is the chloroplast and what happens in the chloroplast. What is the function of the cell wall, the cell membrane, and the vacuole. Okay, so okay. All right, so we good? Are we done with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so let's return to. Okay, let's return to or let's go to health science. For the last thing we did in health science, I think we did a thing on health science. We did a quiz, right? So we do a quiz last time, Heather?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, so we need a redemption, Jesse.
I don't know if I have any more quiz for that stuff. So, but the last real thing we did in health science in terms of notes was on pathogenic diseases, right?
Yes, sir.
Last real thing, and we talked about how people need to wash their hands. I don't know if y'all remember my bathroom story joke. I don't know if did I tell y'all that?
So
Yeah, I had a mouse walking over there washing your hand or something like that.
Yes, yes,
then
yes.
you give you a scary look.
I do love wash your hand, brother. And so yeah. Okay, so the good news is that he did end up washing his hands badly. And so, you know, that's the good news. I did not get beat up. All right. So we are on these pathogens, right? The last one that we stopped on was virus. All right. Now we're going to continue talking about different, um, pathogenic diseases. No, we different pathogens and the pathogenic diseases that they cause. Now, out of all the diseases that we talked about so far, we have different categories. Can anyone remember the first category of disease that we talked about? The first category.
Hereditary.
Hereditary diseases, very good.
So close.
I say so close. What are some hereditary diseases that we talked about?
Sickle cell.
Sickle cell.
Diabetes.
No, diabetes is not hereditary. Oh yes, 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 that could be hereditary. You're right.
Oh,
You're right.
Hypertension.
It could be hereditary. But
Hypertension.
true hereditary diseases would be like sickle cell. Um, what else we talk about? Down syndrome, right? Um,
Yes, sir.
color blindness. And
Oh,
homophilia.
yeah.
You don't remember what homophilia is? Ah, yeah, gotcha. Gotcha
I
there.
know Mr.
what you
Chief. Come on.
Homophilia. Yes, sir.
That's when the blood don't clot, run like cuts, right?
That's when
Yeah.
the blood doesn't clot. Very good. All right. And then after we talked about after we did the hereditary diseases, we went to what other type of disease?
Deficiency.
Deficiency.
pathogen
No,
diseases?
deficiency diseases. With deficiency diseases, we talked about stuff like Gouda, scurvy, beriberi,
Berry,
rickets, and the like,
night blind.
night blindness, and so on. And then we are on pathogenic diseases, and we are listing off some of the things, the pathogens that could cause disease, and what disease they actually cause. So what we are on now is we are on fungi. So we still are using the same table, so just continue with the same table we started with. All right, so this is going to be um, health science. We're going to change the date. Health science, this is the 22nd of February. Health science.
It's the two.
Oh yes, that's true. Wow, I didn't even really notice that. Two, two, two.
Are you serious?
I promise you I didn't notice that if you didn't say that. Wow. I mean, no, no. Wow. Of course I noticed it. Yeah, of course. Of course I noticed it. Yeah, certainly. I mean,
Ah,
of course.
They make that big data.
Yeah, of course I noticed it. Of course. Who didn't
Mm.
notice that? Come on, that's so obvious.
You didn't notice it.
Uh, all right. Good point. Wow, how did I miss that? Two, 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 two. Wow, it's crazy. All right, so this is going to be fungi. So the next one is fungi, right? That's what we're going to be talking about. Candida. Okay, this one is I can't show y'all no pictures of this one. This one is sensitive. Next thing you know, your parents come, hey, what's happening here? But Candida is um it's a yeast infection. Okay, it's a vaginal yeast infection. So often called a vaginal yeast infection. It is caused by an imbalance of the bacteria in the or other diseases such as diabetes. Now, symptoms include, so what are the symptoms of it? When we say symptoms, what do we mean? Symptoms.
Side effects.
Side effects.
More so like
Not really sad.
what could you see, like, or feel, or
Change in your body, like what
Yeah.
happens?
definitely.
Urinal problems.
So, what'd you say?
Urinal problems. I don't know.
Symptoms
Look at that's
include
gonorrhea.
symptoms include you're gonna have a chalky discharge from that area. You have a yeast-like color and itching, soreness, and irritation of that area. Okay, so that's candida.
Can you die from it?
I mean, anything left untreated, you could die from it, but I don't think it's that deep. I think that you could easily get this thing sorted out.
All right. Okay.
Let's check. Let's see. How do they treat them? How to treat candida? Let's see. Yeast infection. Taken. Okay, they say. How they do it? They say from mild to severe, short course for therapy, taking antifungal medication for 3 to 7 days. Yeah, I know it wasn't that deep. Like, all you need to do is take a medication for 3 to 7 days, and it'll clear up the yeast infection. Creams and stuff like that. Yeah.
I don't understand the second one. Single oral dose.
Where are we? Oh, single oral dose. Your doctor might prescribe one time. So, like, this is a one-time oral medication. That means what you're gonna actually drink. And
Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right.
this is
What to
different from
say?
it's different from the other one where you actually have to apply the ointment on the area. But this one you actually just drink it for one time and it just does the thing. Okay.
Which one you would choose?
I am not a female, so
No, I just say this.
He's not a female.
I'm a female.
I just
Shoot. The same in my league. Which one you would choose? That's the right question.
no, I just mean like just
I mean personally I just want to get it over with, you know what I mean? So if the one time thing could do it, let me just do the one time thing and just get it over with, man. I ain't gonna be applying something for 7 days. I don't know, I can't be doing that. Alright. Commonly, so this one is tinea.
That's a pretty name too, and that's a fungi.
Yeah, but guess what it is?
Wingworm.
Ringworm. Right? Pretty near me. Right? Pretty near, I know, pretty near. Alright. But ringworm is not commonly called ringworm, but is not a what? It ain't a worm.
Not actual worm.
No, at all. Okay. It is highly what? Contagious. That means it could spread from skin to skin. right? Tinea. Spread from skin. Anyone had a ringworm before?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, from skin to skin. Better have it early when you're a child than have it as an adult.
Yeah, that,
Just get it over with.
Yeah, I had one.
My parents used to threaten me I get ringworm if I dig in the sand too much.
yeah, I always say that.
Yeah.
Okay, it is highly contagious and spread from skin to skin contact through sharing clothing or other personal items. Right? So if you can't be using the same underwear as your brother or sister, right? Like, you know, make sure it's a person. Some things you don't share. Like, I know,
Ew.
I know we like to share, but some things you don't share. And underwear is one of them. So especially if you already wore it before and you share it with someone else, that's crazy. So
Okay, that sounds weird.
yeah, so
Very.
but you don't want to get the ringworm. So make sure stay clear with that. It can also be, people love pets and all that good stuff, but it can also be passed from animals such as cats and dogs.
Like when you touching them or like petting them.
I don't know how deep it is. I can't say.
So like they could bring it to other people then, or
Yeah,
you
they,
could
they
get them.
they could bring it to you. I don't know exactly how deep the contact should be in order for you to get it from them. Um,
I would like to know that.
yeah, I mean that's why I don't deal with them. I mean, you know, kudos to all the animal lovers, but you know, yeah, that's the thing.
You don't like
I
dogs?
get what you
I
mean.
mean, this is how I look at it. Everything is stress and money. So, if you get if you get if you get a dog, that means you gotta buy dog food. That means you gotta listen to them dog bark all night. That means if a fly pass by, they barking, 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 barking. If the car beep too hard, they barking, barking, barking. Oh my goodness. And then you
Depends what dog you get.
yeah, it depends on what dog you get too. It's
I'm
true.
just scared of it.
But all of them still require time, money, and affection. I really ain't got that right now. So yeah, they like a little child, a little responsibility. Like I can't do that. Um, but I mean, if you have free time and you know, yeah, you could make sure your dogs are straight and your cats are straight. Um, okay, so protozoan and a plus. So protozoan, that's another pathogen, and the disease is Plasmodium. Okay, this is what causes malaria. Okay, anyone familiar with malaria? I heard it before.
I heard of the name.
I had an
I
ear.
didn't know what it is.
Yeah, so this organism causes the disease malaria. It is a pathogen. This one is really bad. This one is really bad. It's a pathogen that lives in female mosquitoes. It's the vector. I remember say the vector is the thing that carries the disease as a parasite. So it lives inside the female mosquito, and when the mosquito um, feeds, or when the mosquito land on you, and it has this pathogen inside of it, and it could get onto you. Okay, so that's the idea. So when the mosquito feeds, it passes these pathogens on to another organism. Now, currently, according to this book, there is no treatment. Sorry, there's no cure, my bad. There's no cure for malaria, but you can get treated.
So it's like closer to the Zika virus?
Yeah, close like that. So, you get it from the mosquito. Anyone ever had dengue fever before? From the
Nope.
mosquito?
Yeah, so
Yeah, I remember
just
having
like
that.
kill all mosquitoes.
My friend, that was so terrible. Oh my goodness. Loss of appetite. Oh my, it was terrible.
You had it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I had it. Yeah, I had it.
How was it?
That was terrible, man. Terrible. I mean, my mommy would cook food, big plate of food, and you can't eat a thing. You have no appetite for food, nothing. Just
Glad I ain't had it.
yeah, you just feel uncomfortable, man. Just nothing feel right. Just
Like,
I
how long you really had that? I mean,
I
I'm
had
just
it.
asking.
I can't actually remember, but it wasn't too long. Probably a week, 2 weeks the most.
oh,
Yeah,
that long?
Oh, jeez.
yeah. It wasn't that long, but
So you
man,
only
in the period of that time, that was crazy, man. That's when we had, we get it from mosquito in our place, with the water, when you leave over water in buckets and stuff like that.
yeah.
They like them stuff. So if you have breathing sites, um that's why they say make sure turn over the buckets around the home and hold water. They have breathing sites. I trying to find out someone who have malaria. They showing me the mosquito. I hate to put this, but malaria people. Can we have that? All right, go. Bye.
Mm-mm.
They so biased, but just block pictures.
Real.
I know. Right? Not even
Just
no white person.
Exactly, like no white person ever
one
had it.
point, nobody was.
Not a single
Not,
light.
come on, please.
Why you on white
Biased.
skin?
They biased.
Stereotypical.
I
You
know,
should.
right?
You
Clearly.
should. Racist, bad.
Wow, it's crazy, man.
I mean, you get a white doctor. You get a white doctor.
A
But I
white
don't.
doctor,
Yeah.
a white doctor, but not a white patient. Please, come
Hey,
on.
the diseases only happen to the black people. I
Yeah,
know.
it only happen.
Yeah, I believe that.
Telling you.
Anyway, that's I say COVID-19 people come and close us down.
For real.
All right, so let's move forward. All right, so insert rows below. Um, okay, so next up is what everybody has, including every one of y'all in here. Worms. I know, all the other worms.
When you say everybody had, I know that was you was gonna say.
That's the flat ones, the tapeworms.
Flatworms, roundworms. Some of y'all
Nah, I
got,
don't have them.
yeah, right. Everybody have them. And tapeworms.
No, I
Not
don't.
everybody.
Everyone have them.
When I got warm myself,
No, they don't, Mr. Petit. You don't understand.
Oh, I heard about this.
Okay,
I hate
so
them.
these parasites, but you can take them out. I mean, there is a way.
no.
It's a weird way. I heard. It's a weird way.
Do not say. Please
I
do
can
not
say.
say.
I'm not gonna say.
I wanna know.
No, it's not even fit.
You know it's a special drink for it, but
No, not even that. I wish it was that way. When I heard that the way that they said it was crazy. It's funny. Um, It's cringy. It'll make you cringe. That's how.
Nah.
Don't you dare say it.
No, I won't. These parasites can live in
Oh
various
Lord.
different different vertebrate animals. Usually, where do you think they're gonna be?
In the stomach.
In the digestive tract. Yeah.
In the small intestine too, right? I heard
Yeah.
about some of them.
Yeah, in the digestive tract. Where they deprive. So they want the food. They want to be where the food is. Where they deprive the host of what? Nutrients.
Protein.
Causing what? If you deprived of nutrients, what you get? What what would eventually happen to you? If you are deprived of nutrients, what would eventually happen? What would eventually happen to you?
Get sick.
Yeah, use the watch.
I mean, yeah.
Get sick or laugh.
You gotta use it.
It can cause malnutrition.
Yeah.
Malnutrition.
Malnutrition.
Vomiting, diarrhea, all that good stuff, I guess.
Sick.
That's not good.
I know, right?
What are you talking about good?
That's the worst. That's the worst feeling now.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
Yeah, sarcasm. Okay, like that. Malnutrition, intestinal blockages, stomach cramps, and severe weight loss. Okay, that's worms for you.
That only got happen when the food ain't cooked, right? Right?
What happens? Yeah, when the food is not cooked properly. When the food is not, especially for persons who live, okay, so I take that back. Not every one have worms, right? But most people have it. Most people have it. About half of the world's population, they say, have it. So that's a lot. So
especially animals, right?
I mean humans. Talking about humans. Animals have them too, but about half of the world's population have at least what they say. They say about half of. Let me read it. What they say. They said that worms have been living inside human body for a long time. About half of the world's population are infected with at least one of three worms, forming what university parasitologist Dixon calls the unholy trinity: the large worm, the hookworm, and the whipworm. All right, so this one say that it is estimated that around 80% of both adults and children have parasites in their gut.
That's ooh.
Yeah.
Good parasites or?
It's a lot.
Say good.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So most people have them.
Because I know everybody have worms.
Yeah, but most, and you might be one of them.
I don't know.
I mean, it depends on what food you eat, right?
Yeah, it depends on what food you eat.
We don't go around eating raw food though.
Yeah, but sometimes
Like I think it's like a type of meat you eat. I think.
Yeah.
It's like the meat raw, and we eat the meat raw.
Not only raw, but unproperly cooked too.
So, but them people who always eating raw meat and only eat them raw steak and thing.
Yeah, that's
So what about processed food?
That's not good.
Processed food is a good question too.
Yeah. You see, sometimes you can get worms when an infected insect bites you or when you eat meat from an infected animal. So that's why.
So maybe when you get contaminated then.
Yeah, contaminated. Eee, this look bad. I can't. Ooh, yuck.
Do not, please do not. I ain't trying to go.
Yeah, anyway. All right, so these are our pathogens and the pathogenic diseases for the night. The next time we come back, we're going to talk about physiological diseases, or we would call them um, non-communicable diseases. So that would be our last. I think that'll be our last category. All right, so
You say non-communicable?
yeah, non-communicable diseases or physiological diseases. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I want to say a wonderful good night to you all. Thank you all for enduring the slaughter. All right, have a wonderful night, and I'll see you on tomorrow at 6
You
p.m.
too, Mr. Petit.
Yes, sir. God.
Good night, everyone.
You too.
Take care.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, good night.
Good night. Very nice. Cool. Very nice. Cool. Uh-huh. All right. Okay.